Yeah, wind it up, folks. It is that time of week again. Put me in, coach. We're getting in the game here. Hang on now. That's the one. Give me a second here, Chris. Go ahead and bring him in.
Hey, don't worry.
Bring
My
him
mic
in.
works, okay? Don't worry. Mine works, okay?
There we
What's
go.
up, everybody? Welcome to another week of Put Me in, Coach. And as you can see, we clearly are still working on getting a flawless fielding percentage. But without the technical difficulties, we are here. We are live. Jesse, loaded show today.
Yeah.
USA hockey, baseball, automated balls and strikes. We
Yep.
got some football news to talk about. What do you want to dive into first?
Man, I need to also tell people that we're going to debut a new segment here this week.
I'm sorry?
A new segment. A new segment. Brand new. Yep, we got some, we're going to, incorporate some hilarity. And hilarity ensues. So something like that. We got some impressions. First impressions. That's the name of the segment. We're working loosely on that. So no challenge this week. Things got a little bit busy. The real world, gets in the way of things sometimes and takes precedence. So no challenge this week. No punishment. We'll get to all that next week for you. Stick with us on that. Chris, let's dive right into some USA hockey. This was a magical moment for the country on Sunday morning. And it made me think, man, I loved watching the USA men's hockey team win their first gold since 1980 at like 9 in the morning.
That's right.
It makes me, it was such a huge, just the magnitude of the game made it even better. It made me wish that, the Super Bowl was at, 8 a.m. because I just love waking up to high-stakes sports first thing in the morning. Great stuff.
Smells like gunpowder, lead,
Yeah.
and sweat, and America. Okay, look, the deal is this game, right? The reason why this one felt about close to as you could get to Miracle on Ice from 1980 is because, just like then, we were such overwhelming underdogs. I mean, everybody and their mom knew. It's Canada. It's their sport. Football is our sport in America. Canada's got hockey.
Yep.
But guess what? The women, they got Canada first in overtime.
Got 'em.
And then the men to do it. And for this team especially to do it, right, and avenge the 2012, I believe, Winter Olympic double overtime loss, that plus the magnitude of the stakes. I mean, as you said, to win this medal, to bring home gold and beat Canada twice with the men and the women's team doing it, you couldn't have. By the way, on the count of three, can we get a USA chant? 1, 2, 3. USA! USA!
USA! Let's go!
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, Canada at this point, they're the 51st state. We kind of declared that was the way it was going to go after the hockey match.
That's right.
We're joking.
By the way, Jack Hughes, somebody did go on Wikipedia after he scored the game-winning goal in overtime. And, of course, somebody edited his profile to say, Jack Hughes, American hockey
There he
player.
is.
And it said, quote, Jack Hughes, owner of Canada. Woo!
I loved his interview afterwards, too, where he was talking about Connor Hellebuck being the MVP.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Saying that, he was our best player by a mile, not by a kilometer.
That's right.
Canada,
A mile.
That's right. So, awesome. Just a great moment for the country, for the Olympics, for the U.S. team, for hockey. It makes me, I'm not a hockey guy. I'm not. All right, I don't watch NHL like that. And it makes me want to watch NHL. I don't know if this is going to translate over to that, but, hey.
What a moment.
It certainly drew eyes to hockey in the United States.
I mean, dude, 26 million viewers on NBC for this game. For a hockey game that was that early in the morning, that tells you a lot about how much this mattered to the American population who cares about the country, cares about sports, and, of course, cares about being numero uno, baby.
Yep. So we got them. We got Canada. Honestly, Canada looked great, except
They
for,
did.
dude, that goal that I think it was either McDavid or it was McKinnon. He had a wide open look at the net.
Sure did.
And just botched it. Just put it off the post with
Cha-ching.
Goalie was looking the other way. He had the back door wide open and missed it. I couldn't believe that moment there. But and I guess Nike couldn't believe it either, Chris, when folks were they had a bunch of Canada jerseys ready and sold out of USA jerseys because I guess they maybe thought Canada was going to win.
Look, Canada knows that Vegas knows. Sorry, Nike knows that Vegas knows something, right? That's why it's hard to beat Vegas when you bet against them. However, this blunder by Nike and Phil Knight to not have printed enough American hockey jerseys and to have a shortage after they win this game in such incredible magnitude, I mean, that right there is an all-world blunder. I don't know how you screw this up. Because no offense, Jesse, we know every year they print the same amount of winning jerseys for the losing and the winning teams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Nike have that same forethought?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you cost yourself millions of dollars by not having enough to cater to the USA population.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have one of these too.
Heck yeah.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Look at that red, white, and blue stand out against the gold.
It's so nice. That's a good.
It's like
a good
God
shot
painted
there.
it. You feel me?
For sure. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. Wrapping that up, hockey, great moment for the country, great moment for U.S. hockey. The beautiful emotional touch to win it for the Gaudreau family too. What was awesome. So, Chris, NFL Combine starts today. We've said this numerous times. The NFL never sleeps. It's always football season in some way. But anything for the Combine? Is there an event that you like more than any other Combine event? Is there something coming into this Combine you're looking forward to, or is it just kind of like underwear Olympics?
Right, the 40-yard dash catches everybody's eye because how fast are you? Mm-hmm. But really, right, and I like that event because obviously, right, you want to find out who's the fastest guy on the field. But I do love the fact, right, whether it's a former Kansas City Chiefs selection, Don Terry Poe, or Chris Jones, or some other big lineman, it's so cool when you get a big man who can run under a sub 5 second 40. And you see their entire body just moving in slow motion. Those dudes look like Jell-O on a track star's body. And it's so cool to watch them run. And again, and think to yourself, right? Like, look, I'm 37. I used to play college tennis. I'm nowhere near the shape now. But to think if I sucker punch that guy, I could run away from him. No. The dude weighing 330 is going to catch you and then beat you to a pulp. And these guys are that good. That's why this event is so cool because, again, you see the biggest, strongest guys on the planet. And some of them look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. But they'll beat you like they're the thing from the Fantastic Four. You feel me?
Yeah. Man, well said.
Just saying.
Yeah. We had a picture there of Fernando Mendoza holding up the trophy from the college football playoff. He's not going to throw at the Combine. I mean, doesn't really need to. He knows he's going number 1 overall. So
hope you like Vegas, baby.
Yep. Speaking
better
of,
than Oakland.
Of course. Yeah, he's the kind of consensus number 1 overall pick going to Las Vegas to play for the Raiders and new coach Clint Kubiak. So we'll see how that goes.
But by the way, can I just say, how dumb is it, Jesse, that people will make a big deal about him not throwing at the pro Combine and not at his own pro day in Indiana? Because no offense, if you've watched a guy play 16 games and then say, it's kind of a turnoff. He didn't want to throw against no defense with just receivers. I don't know if he's got the stuff under pressure.
Honestly.
What are you watching?
Yeah, and he's not. He doesn't need to. I think that's what it comes down to. He doesn't need to throw.
No.
He knows where he's going to get drafted. So he's kind of this doesn't really mean anything for him.
No.
So now Ty Sampson, Alabama's quarterback,
yes,
who's kind of the number 2 QB in this draft class, from what I understand, I think. Or, he's among the top QBs after Mendoza.
Because you never know what the big board's going to actually do.
Right. He is going to throw. So that's maybe something that I think we can look forward to see what the Alabama quarterback does and, how he performs. Because he looked pretty good this past season, at least for the first half of the season. So
that's the thing, right? And by comparison, Mendoza didn't have a great first half, but that second half, when they just turned it on, it's like, okay, maybe a little sleeper cell action there.
Maybe. And speaking of quarterbacks, moving on here to some NFL cap casualties, because that kind of, at the same time that the NFL Combine is going on, we're starting to learn more about the, kind of what rosters are looking like, taking shape, how they're changing. Kirk Cousins is, we've learned this week, going to be cut by the Atlanta Falcons. What a blunder that was.
Dude, I mean, look, the guy leaves Minnesota, comes to you for $100 million guaranteed dollars, And then 2 months later, they drafted Michael Penix, which said, hey, we've already got your replacement in mind. But it was the first year of that deal. Now you have to cut the guy and pay him whatever's left of the contract.
Insane.
It just, again, how can we sit here as two guys that never went to an Ivy League, never had these great connections of business, and we can make common sense calls when these brain trust people can't do it in a whole war room full of yes men? I don't get that.
Yeah, that was drafting Penix was
Stupid.
It was a dumb idea.
But then again, we know, Jesse, this is the same organization that drafted Kyle Pitts with the 5th overall pick and has never used him like the tight end star he was at Florida. Just saying.
And on Kyle Pitts, actually, he just got the franchise tag this week.
He did.
So we'll see if he signs it or not.
Insane.
But I think he was going to be a big commodity in free agency.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, can you imagine if like your boss came to you here and said, you want to leave the job? Sorry, franchise tag.
Can't
go. You can't leave. That'd be crazy in the real world.
Wild.
Another cap casualty, maybe closer to home for Chiefs Kingdom. Defensive end Mike Dana getting released. Now, I think, he's been productive for what he is.
Yes.
Over the years here. And I do think at some point, this is one of those moves to me that says he could be back, I think, at some point. Because, it's just a short-term cap casualty. They got bigger fish to fry right now.
Yep, I agree with that. That's a good take because you're right. Again, for a guy that he's kind of a fringe guy, he can play in the field when you need him to. He's also kind of a leg refresher guy, but he's a locker room glue guy. And those kind of guys, you need them more than you think you do.
Yeah, and he, like you said, he's a rotational pass rusher.
There's the English words I was looking for.
Yeah, you'll see Mike Dana on. He actually starts. I remember the couple games I went to this year, he was announced as a starter at Arrowhead. So, yeah. But yeah, he's, I think we'll see if he's back. We will be back with some baseball talk. Spring training underway, baby. Excited to talk about both the Royals and the Cardinals and this new segment we teased coming up. Baseball season. It's here.
Let's go.
Yep. Take me out to the ball game, Chris. Spring training is underway here. We're about a month away from the season starting. And for the Royals and Cardinals, there are two franchises in different spots for sure right now. And historically, kind of roles switched at this point in the season. Let's start with, who do we have first over there? I think, just pull up whichever. Royals. Yay, my favorite team. Okay. The Royals this year. Coming into the year, let's just talk about the outlook and kind of what to know for the Royals spring training this year. The man pictured front and center is the guy I have my eyes on, Chris. Jack Caglione, and this guy already off to a blistering start.
Cags, what was it, Tuesday in the Royals' first spring training game, Cags smoked a 460-foot shot to right field. That was a no-doubter. Now, look, I remember covering this guy my last 2 years in Gainesville when he was a part of the Gators, and he was kind of like the college version of Shohei Ohtani. But now that he's settling into the outfield role to Major League pitching, what is your expectation for him and for the Royals this season, Jesse?
Okay, so for Jack specifically, dude, he bashed his way through the minors.
He did here at Hammons Field.
Yeah, just immense power from the guy.
It's insane.
And he can hit for average, too.
He can.
He can field. He's getting used to playing right field for the Royals. But when he got up to the majors last year, he slumped pretty badly. He was having a tough time hitting the ball, no power, no contact. Eventually, they sent him back down to the minors to kind of just restore some confidence in him. But like you said, this is as good as he could ask for to start. That's what you want to see. So we expect him to be the everyday right fielder for the most part. He'll probably platoon a little bit, but he can play first. He can play right field. You might see him at DH from time to time as well. There's another guy I want to talk about, though, Carter Jensen. Now, you said Jack hit a 460-foot jack.
460.
Not to be outdone, Carter Jensen hit one 482. Yeah, look up that highlight. Out of the stadium in Surprise, Arizona.
Jeez.
Even better. And I think Carter Jensen's got a real shot to be AL Rookie of the Year this year.
Wow.
At catcher. You got Salvador Perez aging. You know, how much is he going to play behind the dish? Maybe more than you might think, because Salvi is going to get some time at catcher, of course, but also he can play first, and I think he would be a good candidate to finish his career as a DH. So,
Yep.
As for the outfield, Kyle Isbell's back in center, sturdy defense. I want to see the bat progress a little bit. Right field, as we said, going to be Jack Caglione for the most part, and then in left field, I think between center and left, it's going to be a mix of Kyle Isbell, Isaac Collins, who they got from the Brewers in the offseason, and then Lane Thomas, who comes over from Cleveland. I worry a little bit about Lane Thomas's hitting for average because he had a pretty low, like under 200 average last year. So now, as for the pitching is going to be fine.
Pitching, of course, stays healthy. That rotation, top 5 in all of baseball.
I think so. And the bullpen is right there with it, too. So as for the Cardinals, now the Cardinals contingent here in the Ozarks much stronger than that of the Royals. J.J. Weatherholt is who you're seeing here.
That's right.
He's, questions for him. I wonder, I think he'll obviously be on the opening day roster, probably starting. I'm hearing a lot of talk about him second base.
Correct.
So that's probably the case. I think the question is, where do you put him in the lineup? How high up do you put him right away?
Right, and that's the hard part because he hasn't really seen a major league pitching. He, of course, followed after our star center fielder, Victor Scott, who came up to the majors 2 years ago, right? Struggled to learn how to hit major league pitching. Really did not have a great time. He struggled there in that 7, 8, 9 hole a lot rotating. But ever since that season, like always, he's worked hard. He's now near the top of the lineup. And, of course, he's a speedster. And with Weatherholt also coming from West Virginia, being of Fleetfoot, look, your second baseman, that's a guy that historically has to hit within the top 3 guys of your lineup. Now, will they start him out that high? I don't know. But most middle infielders are guys that hit for average. And Weatherholt's not one of your A-Rod or Nomar kind of power hitting shortstops for second baseman. He's more of like an Omar Vizquel kind of guy with a little more power.
Yeah.
So I would definitely think that eventually his progression needs to be top 3. So you got Victor Scott, you've got Weatherholt, you've got Mason Wynn. You put those 3 guys in there, that speed, hit for average, get on base, and get them in. And that's how the youth movement can progress this franchise back to a winning organization.
And it is a youth movement after losing Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, Brendan Donovan.
Yep.
So they really are in rebuild mode. Another couple things, Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman. I think Cards fans are running a little bit thin on their patience with those guys. So catcher, another thing, like Herrera, he's probably going to be splitting time between catcher and DH. Pedro Pajes, Jimmy Crooks, both on the roster for them to platoon at catcher.
Former Springfield Cardinals.
Yep. And then the rotation, man, I don't know. I don't know who your ace is. I like Dustin May, who they got in the offseason.
Yep.
Had a good stint with the Dodgers and the Red Sox. After that, you've got Matthew Liberatore, you've got Andre Palante, Michael McGreevy, a number of guys. I don't really know. Just a hodgepodge.
And that's the problem, right? You got rid of Sonny Gray, who everybody knew was the ace. And now what you're left over with is a bunch of guys that feel like Palante. Again, not a bad starting pitcher, but nowhere's ace. Like, they don't have anybody that make you go, okay, if we have one game to win with the season on the line, whether regular or postseason, who do you go to? And the answer is you don't know. Hopefully, Michael McGreevy, who, again, Springfield Cardinal, who was drafted with their first overall pick in 2021, hopefully that guy ends up being the guy that you drafted to be. But it's baseball. And pitching, as you know, Jesse, you can never have enough good pitching.
That's right. If they somehow make it to the playoffs, they'll probably just call Wainwright.
Hey, listen, between the 69 and 86 Mets, we've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, they'll probably just, Waino, you...
Hey, at 44, you still want to pitch?
Yeah.
Got that sixer?
Can you give us 4 innings?
Yeah.
So, we'll see what it looks like. By the way, on the Royals, slugging percentage, hoping it goes up, combined with the moved-in fences. Yeah, let's go. Chris, another baseball note here. We're about to see the ABS system, the automated ball strike system, make its debut this year. So you can challenge balls and strikes, making umpires' jobs a little bit, put the spotlight on them a little bit more.
Long overdue. And listen, I wish I was this clever, but whoever crafted this originally on Twitter, you get the credit. Somebody said Major League Baseball should bring back Angel Hernandez so he can set the single game high score for most overturned calls. Okay? Because when this debuted earlier this week in spring training, it was the Red Sox versus the Pirates. There were 6 calls challenged by either the team at bat or in the field. All 6 calls in that game overturned and ruled the umpire was incorrect. This is
Yeah.
overdue because, again, forever and ever, the strike zone has always been a subjective thing for umpires, person to person. And now that we have a real system with a regulated zone, it's going to help the pitching, it's going to help hitting, and it's going to help keep games quicker and more accurate, which is all every fan ever wants to watch in a game.
Yeah, I kind of like the subjectivity to some extent for tradition's sake, but I mean accuracy is important. So it's let's do a little new segment here, Chris. Ozark's first impressions.
Yes.
Okay, and basically is a couple topics, and we're gonna see what these we'll give you a little impression of what so and so might think of it. Chris, what would Gollum Smeagol think about this new automated ball strike system? What would he have to say, Mr. Gollum Smeagol?
Well, if I was Gollum and I was an umpire for Major League Baseball, I would be very offended by this. I'd be so offended because my precious strike zone is going away. No, I don't have the calls. I don't control everything. They're taking it away. It's nasty fat batters, nasty fat batters.
What are we doing? I love this. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gollum, holding your fish. Must be a Marlins fan. That's great. And another one for you here. You know, it's the Combine is here, and nobody better to talk about football in the offseason than me, Scott Hansen.
Oh, Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen of NFL Network fame coming to you here live. Got the duo double box here on a Thursday. We're going to go live to Indianapolis where we're going to watch Ty Sampson throw in his underwear. And as we sit here with 2 minutes left in the show, it's time for the witching hour. Woo! Scott Hansen coming to you live here from Indianapolis with the Combine. And if you're a fantasy football guy, you got to be paying attention to this. Take Chris Full. Go to live to Jesse and Chris Full. There we go. There's Scott Hansen.
Very nice.
That's
very
what
nice.
he would think. So
very nice.
And for the record, guys, we have like a whole laundry list of impressions.
A whole laundry list.
Fair warning, some of them will be horrible. Some of them will be bad, but
I feel like you checked yourself there from saying a bad word that could get us in trouble. So
yeah.
Good job for you for getting that TV
Thank
brain
you.
on.
Thank you. Yeah, I get in here and start talking with you, and I just forget that
Just
I have
two
rules
guys
to follow.
riffing.
Yeah. Okay, Chris. Let's wrap it up here with some Missouri State Bears baseball. Gosh, we don't have enough time in the show.
I know, we just don't.
Missouri State Bears baseball. Let's roll those highlights. Show us what we're talking about with the Bears.
All right, so this was from Tuesday's game at home. This was their season home opener. It was against Oral Roberts. So exactly a week ago on Tuesday, they beat Oral Roberts in Tulsa 11-0. They came back on Tuesday, play them again, and they beat them 13-1 because they scored 12 runs. They scored 12 runs in the second inning alone. We had more to show you from this. I don't know where they're at, but basically in the second inning, they're down 1-0, and they went leadoff homer, back-to-back jack, 3-run homer, and then scored 7 more runs to go up 12-1 in the second inning. Schedule update, they will play at home this weekend. Friday, it's a 3 o'clock first pitch against Little Rock. And then on Saturday, you're going to get a doubleheader for the second and third games of that series. And that's all she wrote. So
Wow.
It's going to be a lot of fun. 1 p.m. doubleheader. So that way we can all get out, enjoy sunny and 70 temperatures. And then Sunday's nasty weather can roll through.
And that's, a doubleheader on Saturday, you said?
That's right. Doubleheader at 1 p.m. at Hammonds Field.
And as Scott Hansen would say, 7 hours of
7
commercial-free
hours.
baseball starts now. Thanks for watching. Put me in, Coach. We'll be back next week. We'll get back on the challenges and punishments as well. See you then.